Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we're doing a sump pump install, also some footer tiles, and this homeowner's actually taken a lot of initiative and done quite a bit of work down here himself. However, he decided that, this is better off to have a bigger company come in and finish the install. I do make things look easy, but remember, there's a lot of labor involved in what we do. So basically he's got an area for a sump pit, and he's dug some footer tiles. This one in the center, I'm not sure what that's there for, but he's dug some footer tiles here along the wall.
What is a footer tile? A footer tile is basically a French drain. It's perforated pipe surrounded by gravel, and it must be set at the footer level, at the foundation level. It cannot be below the footer, and of course it cannot be above the footer. So if you remember the opening scene where we were picking up gravel, this is probably why the homeowner stopped doing this job. This was a lot of work. Look at all the work he did here to dig this trench all the way around the entire perimeter, and he dug one down through the center, which was not necessary. But that gravel has to be brought in, usually bucket at a time, and placed in that trench, then pipe, and then covered up with more gravel. So I've always admired the do-it-yourselfer, the homeowner that tries to take on that project, and sometimes they just can't complete it. But look at that. He dug the sump basin, he dug all those trenches, and that just wore him out. That's all he could do. So sometimes, yeah, you do need to call somebody in to help finish your project. And of course, it rained the night before we came, so you can see that his trenches are working great. They are bringing water over to the sump pit that he dug. Of course, it filled up with water, and we'll have to pump that out before we can do any more work.
So work's progressing in here. Basically, we're just taking these lines down a little deeper so we can get them into our sump pit, and then we'll be ready to lay the rest of this pipe and pour the gravel.
So while the guys are, cleaning up that trench, it needs to go a little bit lower to get down at the right level, right at the bottom of that footer. I'm going to go ahead and drill the core. We call this a core through the foundation wall. I'm using a Bosch hammer drill with a 2-inch diamond core bit. And that 2-inch bit is the exact outer diameter of 1.5-inch pipe. That 1.5-inch pipe is going to allow the sump pump to discharge up and out through this block wall. This is an 8-inch block, and so it takes just a few seconds to get through here. You can see I'm almost all the way through, and this thing makes a perfect hole, and it is necessary for you to bring this pipe out through the wall from your sump basin. A good hammer drill can be rented from almost any good tool rental store, and they usually give you that 2-inch bit at no extra charge. How much does it cost? Well, it depends on where you go. Sunbelt, probably $80. Home Depot, maybe $100. But it doesn't take long to get through, and you can see we've got a perfect hole. You see that? You can kind of see the guys digging inside there. But it's perfect on the outside, no blemishes, and that pipe will slide right through there. So the next thing we'll do is we'll actually plumb the discharge, and that's the 1.5-inch pipe that comes out through the wall, and it will go down underground, and you can see the hill. It's just going to go down to the bottom of that hill and discharge. And we'll just use a pop-up emitter right there at the bottom of the hill.
So we've got some gravel coming in. We've got our pipes installed coming into the pit. We're just going to be covering up this pipe with gravel, and this will be all done.
Okay, work is progressing quite well in the crawl space. You can see the guys here with the wheelbarrows and the bucket. They're actually coming from the trailer, bringing those buckets back down into the crawl space. It is really a lot of work to move gravel into the crawl space. There's lots of ways to do it. Maybe you've seen me use the sliders. We use sleds. Sometimes we pour it through the crawl space vent. But here we're bringing it in by the bucket. So I'm setting up the Zoller M53. He actually has a couple parts. He's got the check valve here. You can see I've already put the riser on, and now I'm going to go ahead and set up his check valve. Remember, check valves, they have arrows pointing. You see those arrows? Tells you the direction of water flow, and they're held on with rubber no hubs and stainless steel clamps. Very simple to do. We use a 5/16" nut driver, and we tighten these bands up, and it's really that simple. You know, a little bit of glue, tighten them up, and you're ready to install the pump. Like I said, I know I make this look easy, and a lot of homeowners, they actually use the live help, and they get started into it, and they realize, hey, you know what? This is a lot of work, and I apologize if I do make it look too easy, but it is not that hard. Yeah, there are so many videos here on YouTube about how to install a sump pump, sump basin, footer tiles. I think I probably have more than anyone else, but there are a lot of videos about this. Take your time, watch the videos, go to their websites, learn how to do this yourself, and truly save thousands and thousands of dollars.
So we're setting up the pump. We set the pump up outside. Got the check valve installed. Basically, we're going to set this down in the pit, all the way down on the bottom. Then we're going to make a measurement from the check valve up here to the discharge where it cored through.
Okay, we have removed all of that dirt that was piled up in the crawlspace. Do you remember that from the earlier portion of the video? We brought in perforated pipe, we poured gravel, we brought everything to grade. It's all done, and now we've plumbed the discharge from the pump. We've got a lid, it's solid, secure, and ready to go. So, a couple of notes about this install. This install was done 8 years ago, and it is still working perfectly. There should never be any problems. Once you have this installed, this should last a lifetime. The pump may go bad. That is a possibility. It's a mechanical working, thing, and it can go bad. But this install, when you do it right, it will last a long, long time.
Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.